Ah, hello. I didn't see you there. Why don't you pull up a seat by the fire? You're here to see snakes, are you not? Well, first let me tell you a tale. You know, it wasn't all luxury, fine drinking, women, men. No, I was once a humble reptile keeper. And then I met them. A couple gentlemen from a international talk show called Forehead Fables. Their names were Sam and Poop. Yes, they essentially gave me everything you see before me. Now, when they interviewed me, there was one thing that they seemed to not be able to get out of their minds. The grasp of the serpentous phalluses just, it called to them. And I don't blame them. I do not blame them. I remember it like it was yesterday.
What do two snakes humping look like?
It's a very good question.
Do they like ball themselves up into like a big love knot, or is it like just two wiggles on top of each other?
It totally depends. So some species, like garter snakes, get into these big breeding balls where you can have, in Canada, we have some of the world's largest congregations of snakes in the world, where you'll have thousands of males on a single female, and she's trying to get the fuck out of there, right? She's
in a ball. They create a big ball around her. She can't escape.
Exactly. So, and the strongest males get into the middle,
And so here I am, a man of science, a man of great wealth. Right, William? My sweet William. But science is never done exploring the unknown world, and so for the two boys, for their curiosity in these young men's mind, well, one of them's a young man, I had to investigate. So I drove 1,300 kilometers to Manitoba, to the largest congregation of snakes known on the planet, in the Narcisse Snake Dens. Now, let's call it as it is. An orgy. The largest land-based orgy on the planet. Make Freddie Mercury jealous. So, now I present to you the fruits of my labor, and I hope that everybody who's interested in the phallic world of nature is maybe a little fulfilled by the footage I've collected for you here today. Cheers. And so we set off on our adventure to find the snake orgies. You can see our little UFO there, isn't that cool, in our little town? And, you know, for a 1,300 kilometer drive, it was actually pretty sweet. Living this far up north, these long drives, you kind of get used to them. So here you see we start in our northern Ontario boreal forest. Look, there's a dinosaur. I don't know if people get just like so goddamn bored up north that they just put statues everywhere, but there's statues of fish and there's statues of everything up here. UFOs, there's a Bigfoot statue we passed. And it turns out Ontario is a lot more mountainous than I thought. Driving from Ontario to Manitoba, it was pretty nice actually. And here's our little dog sleeping. Oh, look at her. And there's a sturgeon mural. Lots of water. Ontario is known for its lakes and waterfalls and stuff, so it was a pretty nice drive overall. You know, not very many stops, thankfully. It was about 15 hours for us. But, I mean, anything to find a group of snakes doing it, right? We have the same species of snakes in Ontario, but ours don't congregate like the ones over in Manitoba. Something to do with the sinkholes and the geology, I guess. Look at this. It was snowing on our way there. Isn't that crazy? I couldn't believe it. It was definitely like, fuck, god damn it. But actually, we had our first couple days were super windy, and then it got super, super nice. There's our dog again, and then before anything, you know me, check those numbers out, baby.
Well, we finally made it. We're just outside of the Narcisse Snake Dens here in Manitoba, and it didn't take long. We just stopped to take some pictures in front of the statues here, Sarah and Sam, and we've already got our first red-sided garter snakes. We're using our phone to record. We brought a charger for my camera that hasn't been turned on in 10 years. We went to the Henry store, Canada's camera store, and they looked like nobody's been in there about 10 years. So aside from that, things are going good. Check out these guys, red-sided garter snakes. And we aren't even at the dens yet, but it looks like, from what I can tell, they built this in the 80s for the snakes. And it not only shows them off, but also gives them somewhere to overwinter, which is super cool. Because that was 3 of them, but we've seen 8 or 9 so far. So I think we're ready to go back to Ontario. We're not even going to bother with the dens. As you can see here, we have some food for the snakes left by people. A little bit of watermelon. And as you can see here, we'll put it right here for this guy. A little garter snake just hanging out, shielding himself from the elements. There you go, buddy. Enjoy. As you can see, we finally made it to Manitoba's Narcisse Snake Dens. After making my fiance drive 1,300 kilometers to see garter snakes, of which we have many of at home. I'm sure she's super pleased with me. So at this point, we're gonna head into the park. They've done a really good job here. There's drift fences all over the property to prevent the snakes from getting onto the road, as it's a highway. It's actually super busy here too, which is surprising because it's kind of not the nicest day out today. It's gonna rain in a couple hours, which is why I'm trying to be quick here. As well as it's super windy. The rest of the week is going to be super nice out, so we'll be getting footage probably all week. Not sure why they put a radix on the picture, because I'm pretty sure there's only Paritalis in this area, but I know there's also some other cool Narcisses, so maybe we'll get lucky and see some of them. But we're going to go into the park now, or the wildlife management zone as they call it, and check it out. So this is what we came all this way for, the red-sided garter snake. She's not sure about it, eh? This is Thamnophis sertalis paritalis, close relative of our Ontario eastern garters. We have these guys too, to the west.
So this is a yearly occurrence in Manitoba, the emergence of these snakes. Anywhere from 50 to maybe 150,000 of these snakes all emerge basically at once, the males first, followed by the females. And they'll follow her chemical trails, her pheromones, and then they'll try to find her, and up to 100 of them will breed with her at once. So, yeah, I'm sure they fucking love that. But the best times to view this are in spring. So this lasts for about a month. Usually the latter part of April and the first month or so in May are the best times to see these animals performing these crazy rituals. And you can find them up in trees, you can find them on the path. You're even allowed to interact with the snakes on site. You can hold them and whatnot. And there's interpreters on the property, which is nice. No gift shop, which for a material girl like me kind of sucked. I even tried to buy the interpreter's hat just because it said Narcisse Snake Dens, but they weren't biting. There's also a couple studies going on when we were there. They have 502 of the snakes implanted with microchips, so they could see which of them are going to what dens to overwinter. But all of these snakes, pretty much that you're seeing, are males, and in this big group, there will be maybe one female. Some males can release female pheromones as well to trick males. There's a whole bunch of shit that goes into it. I don't know what the hell these things are doing. But man, what a fantastic thing to see as somebody who really likes garter snakes. I mean, I've been trying to go for years, and to actually go and check it out, it really was something to see, and it's worth checking out yourself because, wow, what a sight. They have 4 dens on site. One of them sucked, and then the other 2, I can't even remember where the 4th one was, but the other 2 were very active, the last of which ends after a 3-kilometer hike there. Flat hike, it's not bad at all. And yeah, it's absolutely crazy. Go on a nice day in April, late April, early May, and you will not be disappointed because these are absolutely fantastic. We spent quite a bit of time checking them out. Yeah, there's snakes fucking everywhere. Like people were stepping on them. Like I felt so awful. Like there were people that would be like, "Oh no, I stepped on one," and poor friggin' thing. But yeah, it's a wildlife management area, and it's the largest congregation of snakes in the world, from what I understand. I don't think we know of any bigger ones. Sorry. And the dens are all like caverns underneath the ground where they'll overwinter, and like. Unfortunately, there were more snakes here back in the late 90s, but unfortunately there was a pretty bad winter in 1999, which killed tens of thousands of them, which did cut their populations down quite a bit. But like there's some crazy stats on this place if you read into it. Like the amount of snakes that get crushed on the highway is 10,000 or so snakes roughly, which is pretty crazy. So maybe not these days because they installed a drift fence to prevent the snakes from getting on the road, which is awesome. And they have tunnels underneath the highway that the fences lead the snakes to in order for them to like go under the road. So yeah, it was a great experience. We went herping afterwards. I caught a pike. I caught a radix. Didn't film any of that stuff because I was with my friends, and that's embarrassing. A radix is a plains garter snake. Looks like these guys, but a little bigger, a little less red. But yeah, if you go to these places, try not to step on the snakes because that's mean.
Yeah, when it's just your own day. And then I've never been before. Stakes, right? And they're like, no, you don't have to order for that. They can't order it. Well, I thought they do.
Oh, by the way, I know some of the stuff back there looked a little blurry and whatnot. Remember when I said that the camera was off for 10 years? It turns out cameras do not like when you do that. So, yeah. Instead of cutting all the parts out like a professional, I just left about half of them in because I got lazy. So, love you.
Female.
So at this point, we're at a different hibernaculum, which is the term for where snakes hibernate. It's like an old quarry, that's as much as I'll say, that we heard rumors about, and we went to check it out. It turns out it's insane there. It's basically like your own little personal Narcisse snake pit. But yeah, it was a really cool experience to get to see one up close and check out where they're hanging out at different parts of the day. We checked it out 2 different days, and in both days they were at very different spots. So that was really interesting to see. And then I'm interacting with one of the snakes here, basically just to show my fiance that these snakes are really, they really are trustworthy. Like they don't take much to kind of get to know you and stuff, which is also a cool experience for her to see as she's kind of getting into snakes a little more. That these animals aren't monsters and that, they're hanging out. And here's a little one. sticking his head out of a hibernaculum or a little cave he was hanging out in. That was pretty cool to see there. And he came out more and more to investigate us and try and figure out what the hell we were doing in his house. Unfortunately, a lot of dead ones around here. Looks like a lot of them were either stepped on or ran over. We probably found close to 25, maybe 40 dead ones at this spot specifically. There was another study going on here, a population study, so looks like they're trying to figure some stuff out anyway. But yeah, this place was honestly one of my favorite parts of the trip. Well, if you've stayed this long, check out the craziest garter snake flip I've ever done. This is insane. Someone like me, who's kind of a terrible herper, seeing a flip like this was absolutely incredible. Look at all those. Jesus. You want to just start filling your pockets, eh? And then, unfortunately, this is the dead ones. Only a tiny fraction of them, most of which seem to have been ran over by people driving on the trails. But, yeah. And so, yeah, this spot is where our journey ends. We stayed a few more days after and did some other stuff with some local friends. Shout out to Ashley at Northern Lights Reptile Imports for showing us around. We did some road cruising, and man, we must have seen 100 snakes on the road alone. It was insane. Super incredible place. So if you ever get the chance, and you're feeling up for some respectable herping, you got to go to the Narcisse Snake Dens in Manitoba, because if you're a total garter snake nerd like me, this place fucking rocked. It was awesome. Well, that's my story. I'm washed up. Nothing left. I hope that these experiences have taught you something, shown you that there's more to life than just adventure. Good luck. Good luck.
The rest is history. And I've been studying crayfish now without a break since the summer of 2007. So we're almost to 20 straight years. Wow. So yeah, that's kind of the backstory. What was the other part of the question?
I don't fucking know.
There you go.
Who cares?